Ever notice how a truly great TV show feels lived in? It's not just the acting or the writing. It's the subtle details in the background that make a world feel real. And and there are set decorators are the unsung heroes of television, quietly crafting environments that enhance storytelling and reveal character. They don't just fill spaces, they build worlds, and often they leave little Easter eggs for attentive viewers. And let's explore some shows that have truly mastered the art of set decoration. And uh, Friends is iconic, and uh, and so is Monica and Rachel's apartment. Beyond the Purple Walls, set decorator Greg Grande used the back of the door for a Magna Doodle, leaving changing messages and inside jokes throughout the series. Fans would pause episodes trying to decipher the latest sketch. It was a playful touch that added personality to the space. The office aimed for authenticity, and Michael Scott's office perfectly captured his personality. Look closely, and you'll find a Seiko watch, misspelled, of course, and a certificate with a jagged cut. Um, these details weren't mistakes. They were deliberate choices that highlighted Michael's incompetence and self delusion. Um, but Breaking Bad used color theory brilliantly. Um, I and the Walter White's descent into the criminal world was visually represented through the use of green in his wardrobe and surroundings. The infamous pink teddy bear, a jarring contrast against the desert landscape, foreshadowed tragedy. Every item was placed with intention. It's really Psych is famous for its pineapple. Um, it appears in nearly every episode, hidden in the background or held as a prop. It started as an improvisation uh, by James Rode Rodriguez, and the crew embraced it, turning it into a beloved running gag for dedicated fans. Uh, Community took background jokes to another level. Uh, the show was layered with visual gags that sometimes took years to pay off. Beetlejuice appeared after his name was mentioned for the third time, and the study room chalkboards were filled with meta humor. It rewarded repeat viewings. Uh, Parks and Recreation created a quirky Pawnee through the murals in City Hall. These paintings depicted horrific historical events in a cheerful style, creating a satirical contrast. The sheer number of murals emphasized the absurdity of the town's bureaucracy. How I Met Your Mother uh, subtly foreshadowed events. A countdown from 50 to 1 appeared on background objects, building tension leading up to a tragic event. This visual cue created subconscious anticipation and heightened the emotional impact. The Big Bang Theory was grounded in scientific accuracy. The equations on the whiteboards in Leonard and Sheldon's apartment were constantly updated to reflect current scientific discussions. Um, the shelves were stocked with authentic vintage comic books and action figures. Uh, Arrested Development used the Bluth model home to foreshadow events on television. Handprints on the walls hinted at Buster losing his hand, and the shoddy construction of the house symbolized the family's dishonesty. Um, the visual cues reinforced the show's complex humor, reinforcing the "for among women" as saying, and Stranger Things meticulously recreated the 1980s. Vintage toys and furniture filled the bedrooms, and the Christmas light communication wall became an instant pop culture icon. The attention to detail uh, immersed viewers in the era. Uh, Mad Men obsessed over historical accuracy, and set decorators ensured that even the contents of kitchen drawers were period appropriate 2 years ago. Uh, the office decor evolved with the changing aesthetics of the 1960s, creating a truly immersive experience. The Good Place hid puns and jokes in its bright, colorful landscape. Restaurant names and store signs were filled with wordplay, adding a layer of whimsy to the surreal setting. And these visual gags matched the show's quirky tone. And New Girl created a lived-in loft apartment, and the douchebag jar, the melon painting, and eclectic chairs gave the space a bohemian atmosphere. It felt like a genuine home for young adults of every miter could see. Sherlock updated 221B Baker Street for a modern audience. Chaotic clutter reflected Sherlock's genius, and the use of projections on the set visualized his deduction process. And it was a unique perspective on the classic character. Gilmore Girls created a charming New England Hamlet. The Gilmore house was filled with flea market finds, and Kim's Antiques was packed with uh, vintage items. The cozy aesthetic became synonymous with the comforting vibe of um, the series. Game of Thrones distinguished its regions through set design, how sigils were incorporated into architecture and weapons, and the Iron Throne was constructed from melted swords, and the immersive sets brought Westeros to life. Modern Family reflected the characters' lifestyles through their homes. The Dunphy house featured a broken step that Phil never fixed. And Mitch and Cam's home showcased their artistic tastes. These distinct environments helped separate the storylines. Twin Peaks created a surreal atmosphere through set design. Okay. And the Red Room with its zigzag floor and velvet curtains is iconic. The juxtaposition of cozy aesthetics with nightmarish imagery was central to the show's impact. BoJack Horseman filled its backgrounds with animal-themed puns and art parodies. Famous paintings were reimagined with animal subjects, and background art often reflected the protagonist's mental state. These visual jokes rewarded attentive viewers. And so next time you're watching a show, take a closer look at the background, and you might be surprised by the hidden details and the artistry that goes into creating these immersive worlds. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.